Hey everyone, today we got a lot to talk about. First, we're going to go over the options trade we talked about last night. Um, we said we were going to sell a SOXL cash secured put at a 38.50 strike. At the time, SOXL was 41-ish dollars. The delta was 25, which is what we like. And we didn't look at it at all, in the morning. We just let it fill. Our midpoint was like our limit price, and this is why you don't do market orders. Our limit price was, I think, 87 or 89 cents, which is 87 or $89. We set the limit at that. SOXL gapped down at the open. Let's see. It closed Friday at 41.26. It opened today at 39.58. So about $2 it gapped down. It did make a recovery and was up today, which helped our trade. So anyway, the gap down caused our option, the Delta 25 went at the open after it filled, the Delta was about 35, but instead of the 80, I think it was 89 credit we set the limit at, we got 119. So it was filled right at the open at 119. So that's $119 credit. And the delta went back down to 21. So that's good. SOXL is still at 41.70. And this is a 38.50. So it's in good shape. It's up $52 today. It's right now at 66 cents, which is dollars. It's 100 shares. And again, we got in at 119. We sold for 119. We can buy it back now for 66 cents. That's a $52 profit. But we're not going to do that. This is the zero maintenance modified wheel strategy for the working man. You put the order in Sunday, you let it ride. If it gets filled, it gets filled. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This got filled right away. And so we got 119 credit. I want to show you this because we're going to let it ride all week. So we received a credit for $119. It's a 38.50. So our cash secure is $3,850. That is 3% per week if, this continues. And again, that's considered money at risk. It's not really at risk because if it gets assigned, it gets assigned. Then we own the shares. Then we sell calls. So anyway, 3% times 52 weeks is 160% yield. That's what we're looking for. So hopefully it stays above 38.50 this week. It's a weekly play. Expires Friday. And if it stays below that, we keep the premium, and we'll do it again on Monday, whether it's SOXL or others. So that's that. So good shape there. Let's talk about, we're still waiting on rec shares to declare. And I did a poll a couple of weeks ago, and thanks for your responses, you guys. Your favorite part of this content. And the least favorite part was going over what it was actually declared. So we're not going to wait for Rex to declare. They'll declare what they declare. If you own Rex, you'll know what the declarations are. But WPAY did declare. So let's look at that. That's Roundhill. WPAY declared 34 cents. The last three have been 39 cents, 44 cents, 34 cents. I'm sorry, 39, 44, 34. Annualized yield is 43%. I am going to start to do, maybe, but I did it with WPAY. This is ATR. It's not average true range. That's an indicator. This is annualized total return with drip, annualized total return without drip. And And in WPAY's case, you're better off without the drip. And this was interesting to me. And I looked at some others. If they're up, usually the drip is better. If they're down, the drip is worse. And we'll get more into that as we go forward. Again, there's a ton of funds. It's going to be hard to keep up with all that. But I just wanted to show it with WPAY. So you're better off without dripping it. Again, it's a new fund. Let's go. I have this up. This is WPAY. Launched 2 months ago. Well, almost 3 months ago. September 4th at $51. It's now $47, so it's down. And if you put in 10 grand, you have 194 shares. With the drip, you have 222 now. So your total return is 5%, but only in 3 months. So your total return is 21.72. Without the drip, you have the same amount of shares, but it's 23% total return without the drip. Annualized total return. It's 5.53. And that's basically you're taking the distributions out of it. You're not reinvesting. So you have the same amount of shares, which is 194. If you drip it, you have 222. So just wanted to show that. It was interesting to me. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about Yieldmax and predictions for tomorrow. This is going to be interesting, and I'll show you. Let's go over to it. Okay, what? We're going too far. Here we go. All right, so Chippy, last 3 payments are 45 cents, 41 cents, 43 cents. That's a 40% yield. And again, these are weekly. We're giving them 44 cents. Feet has paid 45, 38, and 37 cents. So we're going to give them 40 cents. 5E has paid 31 cents, 27 cents, 25 cents. So that has trended down. Solid, we'll give them 28 cents. GPTY, a lot of people love this one. 32 cents, 30 cents, 30 cents for the last 3. We're going to give them 31 cents. LFGY, let's see, last 3 have been 50 cents, 37 cents, 36 cents. So we're going to give them 42 cents. QDTY, that's on the Qs, NASDAQ. They have paid 36 cents, 34 cents, 41 cents. A little all over the place, but pretty solid anyway. We'll give them 38. RDTY is on the Russell. They've paid 45 cents, 44 cents, 48 cents. So that's gone up. We'll give them 46 cents. SDTY, which is on the S&P. And again, these were all down today. Let's look at those real quick. The NASDAQ was down 0.3. The Russell was down 1.25. And the S&P, the SPX, was down 0.5%. So we'll go back. So anyway, where are we at? SDTY, they paid 28 cents, 25 cents, 33 cents. We're going to give them 29 cents. Salty was down today. No, Salty was up today, 1.64. Alti was down 1.56. There was a split this morning with Alti. It is now a $40 fund. So you guys wanted Alti to be, up. It's up. It was a reverse split though, 1 for 10, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, Salty has paid 58 cents, 76 cents, 57 cents. Let's go up. We went too far, but that's fine. So we gave them 64 cents. Again, the last one was 57. Alti did a 1 for 10 reverse split this morning before the open. So they're now $40.30. I changed their average of the last three. They paid 6 cents, 6 cents, 5 cents. But I multiplied them by 10 because it was a 1 for 10 reverse split and divided by 3 to get an average, which is 62 cents. That's an 80% yield. However, they've also changed their strategy, safer funds, more blue chips. So the IV of the underlyings is 40%. So they've been paying 80, IV is 40. I'm going to split that. And it may be even less. It's hard to predict because they did the split and changed the strategy. So I'm going to give them 47 cents, 60% yield. So that's, I mean, it is what it is. I have Alti. I love Alti. It's been paying big yields, but it has declined in price. So, we all admit to that. YMAG, and the Alti was the only one that reverse split for tomorrow's declarations. And then there's a bunch for Wednesday's declarations. Anyway, YMAG has paid, last payment was 12 cents. What do you give them? 13 cents, 46% yield. YMAX, last payment was 10 cents, which had been down. It was 15, 13, and 10. Trending down, but it's not a single stock, so it's not concerning. It's just is what it is. We give them 13 cents, 61% yield. So that's the predictions for Yieldmax. Defiance has some predictions tomorrow on their single stocks. We're at the top. Let's go over here. AMDU averages 43 cents. That's 105% yield. Again, under or overpaying, in my opinion. The IV on AMD is only 51%. IVs have gone down on all of these, except today, MicroStrategy's IV went up. So take that as you will. Anyway, he's averaging 43 cents. We give him 32, 78% yield. ETHI, or ETHI on Ethereum, it's averaging 17 cents, 122% yield. I'm giving him 14 cents, 97% yield, because the IV's not there. Hemi on Hims and Hers averages 19 cents. We're giving him 17 cents, 85% yield. WPAY on Robinhood averages 23 cents, 77% yield. IV is not there, so I'm giving them 21 cents, 68% yield. MST, it's a $2 fund. Reverse split possible? I say yes, but not financial advice. Make your own decisions, talk to a financial advisor, all that good stuff. But anyway, MST, 130% yield. That's the winner of Defiance right now. They're averaging 5 cents. And they are overpaying based on the IV. Even though the IV went up to 80% on strategy, MST is paying 130. Average of the last 3. You guys know how I do my yields, not financial advice. So I'm giving them 4 cents, 105% yield. Still, it's a yielder. If you're in it for growth, that's not your play. PLT, 28 cent average, 104% yield. IV is not there on Palantir. We're getting them 21 cents, 76% yield. And I'm always underestimating these. SMCC, a newer purchase for me, and it's gone down ever since. They're at $8.59. They're averaging 17 cents of the last 3. 107% yield. IV is not there on Super Micro Computer, so I'm giving them 14 cents, 85% yield. QLDY, lightning spread on NASDAQ. They pay twice a week. Tomorrow is their first declaration this week. They're at 48 bucks, 18-cent average, 39% yield. I think I gave them 18. Yeah, 18, 39% yield. Over here is my months to return on investment. Right now, MST, you get your money back in 9 months based on current price, current distros, average of distros. And then QLDY, the worst, much safer play as far as your NAV goes, but it's going to take you 61 months to get your money back. And Roundhill, we talked about WPAY. They do have a couple of decks tomorrow. What do they got? YBTC and YETH declare tomorrow. And again, I didn't put in the with drip, without drip on these. I'm going to have to put those in manually as we go. And there's so many funds. I can't do them all at once. So just kind of an experiment. Let me know what you think about that, because that's interesting stuff. Right now, WPAY is better without drip, but it's a newer fund. So YBTC, I zoomed that. Let's see. I've got to zoom out a little so we can see everything. It's pretty tiny. YBTC, last payment was 22 cents. We're going to give them 27 cents, 43% yield. And YETH, an Ethereum fund, best yielder of Roundhill. Roundhill had a ton of 100%ers. Now their best is 75% based on the last three. Might be a good thing because they were overpaying. And now we're getting, I think, the whole Yieldmax reverse split thing kind of scared Roundhill into paying a little less. Again, do we care? I don't. Anyway, 75%. Last payment was 23 cents. I think I kept them right there because I think that's a good spot. 26 cents, 75% yield. So that's the update. Let me know what you think. The SOXL trade, the declarations, the reverse splits. What do you want to talk about? Hit me up in the comments. I appreciate it. Anyway, no video tomorrow. Tomorrow's my crazy day at work. We'll do something Wednesday. We'll talk about declarations, more splits. We'll update the SOXL trade. And we'll go from there. Other than that, have a great evening. Thank you for watching.